Hey everyone, welcome in. I'm Captivate, and today we're going to be looking at the new purple Doflamingo from OP14. This leader is super cool, and it has done fairly well in the last couple championships in Japan, so I wanted to go over and cover it today. So starting off, we could look at the leader effect for the Doflamingo. It says on your opponent's attack once per turn, you can die -1, select your leader or one of your Don Quixote Pirates type characters, change the target of this attack to the selected card. So we have some really cool cards that synergize with this that have come out in OP14 that we can use to direct their attack into the new characters, as well as we can use him as similar to the way that the blue-green Rosinante works, where if they're going to swing at something like our Sugar Searcher and we want to keep it alive, we can direct them into our leader so that we can keep the sugar on board. So we can play the sugar fairly early into the game, and then on their like early 5k swing, we can just direct it into our leader if we do want to Don minus on that turn. So we can go ahead and look over some of the new cards that come and what we're playing in the deck list. I'm playing the deck list that has the highest win percentage on the sim right now. So once we get closer to the set and I play more, I'll probably decide more. I'll probably figure out a list that I like a little bit more, but this is what I'm playing right now. So if you have any suggestions for cards that I missed or should change the deck list to, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Starting off, we do have the Sugar Searcher, which is just pay 1 to play her, and then you can pay 1 to rest her and then search top 5. So this is something that we can use our leader to redirect their attack into our leader and then keep the sugar alive so that we can search an additional turn and draw an additional card. We do have another searcher, the Dellinger, that came out in OP14 that says on KO, add up to 1 Don cards from your Don deck, rest it, and then look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. So he's super cool in the early game because we can play him down for 1, use our leader effect, return a Don to have their swing into the Dellinger, so he'll get KO'd that way, and then give us our Don back so we don't actually mess up our curve by Don minusing early, and then we get the card draw off of him and get to search. Just playing the simple Baby 5 as a 2k that is searchable. And then we do have a new Baby 5 from OP14. This is one of the reasons the deck is so tanky. On play, we get to add 1 Don from our Don deck and set it as active, and then on KO, we do get Don -1, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life cards. So we get to get out of an attack with our leader effect, which is going to save us cards, swing it into the Baby 5, and then when she gets KO'd, we get to heal 1 as well. So you'll find as you play this deck and play against this deck, it has a lot of survivability. It's really hard to actually kill with the number of 2Ks we play, counter events that we play, and then also just having the leader effect. We can swing, if they swing 7,000 power at us or something like that, we can just direct it into one of our larger characters. So you'll find it's really hard to actually kill this leader oftentimes. Moving on, we have the 5-cost Rosinante. This is a card that I'm sure many people are familiar with. Blue-Purple played it last set, and I loved this card in Blue-Purple. I think the card is super cool. I think the alt art is super cool. We do have another 2k. This is just a Monet vanilla 5-cost 6,000 power. So it's a 2k that can also be played off of the 8-cost Doflamingo. So just increasing the consistency that we have something to play off of that. But at the same time, we play so many 5-costs, you're really never going to run into a spot where you won't have one. But just added, we're going to want to play 2k, so why not play one that we could possibly play out? We do have the new 5-cost Virgo. This says once per turn, if your Don Quixote Pirates type character would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may return 1 Don card from your field to your Don deck instead. Then he has an additional effect of when attacking Don -1, give up to one of your opponent's characters -2,000 power and during this turn. So really sticky body, super good for this deck. Against something like Ace, they have Jozu, which could bounce him back, so you can keep him on board by Don minusing 1 there. So just a really good body to get out. Going to be really hard to remove for any deck in the game. We do have a 5-cost treble. This is another just 2k that we can play off of the 8-cost Doflamingo. He is like the bread and butter of the deck. Once we get to our 8 Don, we do want to try to chain him out while playing 5 costs off of him. And the treble has an effect that says opponent's turn once per turn. This effect can be activated when a Don card on your field is returned to your Don deck. If your leader has the Don Quixote Pirates type, add up to 1 Don card from your Don deck and rest it. So basically, you'll notice the theme that a lot of these cards give you back Don, basically making your leader effect free, which is something we really like, obviously. So we can just continue to use this every turn because we do want to get the value and generate the value off of that. Moving on, we have the 5-cost Monet, which says on play, if your leader has the Don Quixote Pirates type, add up to 1 Don from your Don deck and set it as active. And then on KO, draw 2 trash 1 from your hand, and then add 2 Don cards from your Don deck and rest it. So really good there. This is just a body that people typically aren't going to want to kill, and if you're in a pinch and need to cycle your hand a little bit looking for additional cards to play or additional counter, you can just have them swing into her and kill her and then get the effect off. Again, this is another card that you're probably familiar with if you were playing last set with blue-purple, as he was basically a staple in that deck. On play, Don -1, play up to 1 5-cost or lower Don Quixote Pirates type character from your hand, so you can play out any of these 5-cost characters. And then he has an additional effect which says on the opponent's turn, once per turn, you may rest one of your Don cards. This is actually not correct. The image on the sim is not correct. It says opponent's turn when attacking. So it's a when attacking trigger for your opponent. Whenever they swing at you, you can activate this effect, which just says you may pay 1 Don to add 1 Don active. So you're just going to ramp 1 Don. And then we have a new boss monster that comes in OP14, the 10-cost Doflamingo. On play, Don -3, choose 1. If your leader has the Don Quixote Pirates type, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 8 or less, or up to 3 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 7 or less cannot be rested. So the text of cannot be rested means they cannot do 2 things. 1, they can't block because you have to rest a character to block, and then 2, they cannot attack on their next turn. So this card is really, really good in the Emu matchup specifically, because you basically take 3 of their characters. So you'll choose Workery, Mars, their 2 blockers, and then one of their other characters, like a Nustro if it's still on board, that they just cannot do anything with. They can't block with their blockers, they can't swing with them next turn. So you basically invalidate one of their turns by playing this. One of the only downsides is the fact that it's Don -3, so we can't necessarily chain these, but you're playing this for 10, so you'll go down to 7. So if we have the Monet on board, something that we can do is Don -1 to have them swing into the Monet, taking us to 6, and then she'll ramp us 2 to go back to 8, and then on our next turn we'll go to 10. So if you have a Monet on board, that you can chain the 10 cost, but otherwise you're not going to be able to chain them because it is Don -3. So we kind of need a way to ramp Don. So if you have 2 Troubles on board, for instance, then when we leader effect, we would get to ramp an additional Don to our leader effect. A really strong card, specifically really, really good into the Emu matchup. And then we have the 0-cost event from OP13. This just says you may rest 5 of your Don cards. If you have any given Don cards, give up to 1 of your opponent's characters -8,000 power during this turn. So generally we're using this as a 0-cost counter event, but the main effect could come up every once in a while. And then I am playing 4 of the main / counter events, this is just a searcher that can also be played on your opponent's turn, so pretty good there. And then we do have 4 of the Nora Nora Beam Swords, saying Don -1, we can pay 2 Don, give up to 1 of your leaders or characters 2,000 power during this battle, and then rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters. So obviously this is a little bit less good if people are playing around it because they just swing with their big bodies first, but if you catch somebody out with this, then it's really good. And it's also very good because you're able to rest blockers if they were going to leave them standing. So pretty good there. I think this card in general is just a really good counter event to have, and then the Don -1 isn't too expensive to pay. So this is generally an overview of the deck and how to play it. We're going to jump into some games now. I hope you all enjoy the gameplay, and I hope you all are having as much fun as I am with this leader. I'm really excited to play this in the next set. I'm excited to figure out the perfect list for it. I think what we have right here is a pretty good core. I've seen some people play 9-cost Luffy with Rush. Apparently that's relatively good into Ace, which I think is the worst matchup for this deck, but I've seen it's quite good into Mihawk, Boa, Emu, a lot of the more meta relevant decks that we're expecting next set. I think Doflamingo is really good into, so I'm excited to play this. I played a lot of blue-purple with the Don Quixote package with the 8-cost Doflamingo as well as the 5-cost Resonante, and there was even a version playing the Sugar Searcher in blue-purple I was a really big fan of, so I'm really excited to play this deck. I love the Don Quixote package in this game. I think it's really cool. I hope you all enjoy the gameplay, and as always, if you do enjoy the video, please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. It means so much to me, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. I hope you enjoy. All right, starting off against Boa, I'm going to go ahead and choose first. I think we like first more. Can start off with a Dellinger, and then we have a Virgo for 5. I don't really like having these 3 kind of dead cards in my opening hand as much as I do like the Dellinger. So we can go ahead and just play out the Dellinger here just to get him on board, and then we can pass. Yeah, and when you look at the win rate between first and second, he's slightly better going first just as a generalization in the meta. I think there's probably certain decks like Emu and Ace specifically that you would want to go second into just to take their curve from them. So I could swing 5-5 here. I'm not super sure how we want to play against Boa in terms of if we want to starve her a little bit or just swing face, because we can get kind of punished if she triggers out like a really good relevant body early. But I do know she didn't set her life yet, so it's probably fairly okay for us to just swing here. Because it's mainly just luck at this point if she ends up getting a trigger or not, rather than if she actually set like a Gorgon Sisters in life, which is going to be kind of scary for us. Okay, so two takes and no trigger, so that's really good for us already. I noticed when I was playing, so yeah, we did swing this, so we can't like redirect their leader into it, and I'm obviously just gonna let this die, which will actually ramp us, funny enough, because usually we don -1, but we actually do just get a free ramp off of that. I'm gonna go ahead and take the 8 cost, so we at least have it for the 8, because we're going to 6 next turn. I would like to get a baby 5 eventually, but I would much rather have the Doffy to play for 8 so we can get that out. And then they swing 6 at us, so we can go ahead and just take this, I think. I'm alright doing that. So now we have 6. We can either play the Monet or the Virgo. The Boa doesn't really play any like board removal outside of like maybe a Red Rock, I don't think, but I know that I don't think they play anything like Jozu or anything like that, so Virgo is not particularly important here to get on board. If we play the Monet, she will ramp us 1, but it doesn't really mean too much right now because we are going to be playing the Doffy next turn. I think we could prioritize just getting the Virgo out because it's going to be a 7k swing. Actually, what we could do, because if we swing a 5, they're just going to free block. So I think we can swing 6 here and then play the Monet. And then Monet, that will let us get an extra Don so we can search as well. So I think I like the idea of doing that. And then next turn we can go Doffy into Virgo. And we do have a good amount of 2k counters so far. They are really greedily taking these hits, hoping for bodies. Alright, so gain an active Don, and then this doesn't actually really counter for us, so we can go ahead and just use this. I'm going to take a 10 cost, just so we have that for our 10 Don turn. I think he'll be quite good in this matchup, getting to turn off like their blockers, basically just making 3 of their characters unable to attack for a turn. I really like the thematicness of this leader and how, like, he basically perfectly replicates what he does in the show. I think that's really cool. I also think even the, like, base leader art for him is very cool looking. So they swing a 5 at us. So we are at 7, so I actually could Don -1 here and send this into the Monet for free. And then we would still go to 8, which honestly I think I'm going to do, and just make them turn their characters. Basically just generate a card by doing that. And I'm just going to go ahead and 2k out of this one. I'm assuming they'll swing the Boa as well. And I think we can just give another 2k. Just counter out of these, because I do know that I think I would like to keep their board kind of clear here. So I'm going to go Doffy into Virgo for 8. So we can just start with a 5 at the Shakuyaku here. Oh, they actually don't even have a Don on their leader. So, yeah, and then we'll swing a 6 here. Alright, so they do protect that. -1, play the Virgo. And then we can go ahead and pass there. Alright, play the Nami, which is going to make us take a life to our hand. And then now we are at the point where we can Don minus and send some of their bigger swings into our larger bodies just to kind of save ourselves the counter. We are at 7 right now. So if I use one of the effects of my leader to send it into Monet, I'll go to 6, and then from 6 to 8 having her die. So I think I kind of want to do that with one of the bigger swings. Like, maybe I could send the Kuma into there. I'm gonna just give a 1k for this. And then this way we can play the Doffy next turn. And then we'll also draw 2 trash 1. I'm going to give a 2k for this as well. I'm just going to give the vanilla Monet, because I could see myself playing out the treble, but I'm definitely not going to play the Monet. And then now we can Don -1, send it into the Monet, have her die, cycle. I'm just going to get rid of the search event, and then we'll gain 2 going to 8. So then we can play the Doffy on our next turn. Alright, so they are going to set something in their life. So I do know that that's going to be a trigger body, obviously. But I think what we actually can do here is play down the Doffy, and then 3 of their characters won't be able to attack. So I can go 1, 2, 3, and then just swing life here because she's not going to be able to block. And then they'll have 1, 2. This is also going to be an attacker. So my leader effect will be able to get out of 1. So let's just go ahead and do this. We'll go -3, and then I'm going to say they cannot rest 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then now we can go ahead and swing 5, 7, 9. I do know this is a trigger body. They're probably playing the event. They're not. Alright, so we're just going to swing 7 here. I don't need to reduce anything. Yep, they play that out, and then now we can swing 9. Alrighty, they go to 0. And even if they get another trigger body, this is kind of like the Vegapunk effect, where even if it's a trigger body, they have to remove one of their other bodies, which obviously they can get rid of one that can't swing, but I'm really not scared of dying this turn because I have 2, 1, 1 and leader effect, meaning we really have 4 life here. And then we can go ahead and pass the turn there. So we're basically presenting game next turn, I would imagine. So we're going to go to 9 or 8, depending on if I want to use my leader effect here. Swing 5, this is just going to be an easy 1k. We'll get rid of the Dellinger. 5 again. We'll just get rid of the Rosinante. Our bodies are so big here, I'm really not too scared of them swinging into them. Yeah, them kind of blockering up, I think, is going to be the only way they can really do anything. And then we do have another 2k that we can use to get out of a 6. They swing 7 here. Possibly... Oh, no, never mind. They're not going to go. I was thinking they might go for a Kuma. They're just going to go for a wall of boas. And I'm guessing they'll go 7, 7 here. I'll probably take one of the 7s. And then... if they want to swing a 7 here, alright, they're just going to go big with that. So 10, I'm just going to take this so we don't have to Don minus. Alright, so we are at 9 Don. I would like to play the Doffy into a different 5 cost, but I kind of would want to play it into like a value generating 5 cost. Worst case, I could just play it into the Virgo. Because they're both bricks, so I'm really not going to lose any counter. I obviously don't want to play out one of my 2Ks here. So I think I'm going to plan on doing that. Or actually what we could do, let's just start with a 9. See how they respond to a 9. Because I do have 9, 9, 11. I could go a 9. So we want to make these as evenly as possible. Or as even as possible. So 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... So basically I have 10, 10, 11. So we'll just swing another 10 here. Because I really don't need to play anything, so I'd rather just kill their boas. So 7, 8, 9, 10. And I don't need to reduce anything. Okay, so now, like I said, we could... Well, we can't play this out anymore. We could play the Virgo, but like realistically they die next turn anyways, so I don't need to get any bodies on board. And yeah, they have quite a few bricks in hand. Just 7k... Or they have 3k they can go to. They can get out of a 7k swing, basically. But yeah, there's just a lot of survivability with this deck. I think they took their first couple life a little bit greedily. probably just looking for early triggers, but I think, like I said, you can kind of just swing at them early before they've played something like the Gloriosa or Hiyori, because at that point, it's really just whether they get lucky or not. I've noticed when I was playing Boa, there's oftentimes you don't actually like blind hit triggers as much as you would think. Something like Moria hits them a lot because you play a lot more, but yeah, that is Doffy into Boa. All right, red-green Luffy, so we're gonna take first. We do have Dellinger into Sugar on 3, so we get to search a bit. I think I'm fairly happy with that, so we'll play down the Dellinger and then pass, and then we can kind of do the it's not necessarily a combo, but it kind of is a combo. All right, never mind. So we'll make them swing their Namis at least. They left no Don standing, so we can just go ahead and swing a 5 here, make them give us a card, or take a life. I feel like it's really hard to get, like, their leader effect is really good for the early game when you're just poking 5s at them, because they just leave 1 Don standing and get to get out of everything. They do want to stay at 4 though, so I will play down the Sugar here, which unfortunately they do have the 2 Namis, but like I said, I'll at least make them turn the Namis. I think I'm going to grab another Doffy here, just because I often do like to chain them. And this is 3, so like there's only 1 more between my deck and life, so now I know I have at least 2 in hand that I can kind of play out, and then we can pass there. Play out the 3-cost Bonnie, which is going to let them restand it down on our attack. I'm going to use my leader effect to kill him, just so we can search for a better 5-cost target. And we do get the Monet, which I'm fairly happy with taking, and then we're good there. And then this is also going to make them turn one of their Namis if they want to kill the Sugar, so that I can at least swing into one of them. So we'll just let this die. I don't need to counter out and then make them turn the other one, because I only have 1 swing. And he can only protect Straw Hat characters, so he can't like block, pay 1, counter 1 to keep the Nami alive. So I'm just going to go ahead and swing a 5 into it. And then I'll play out the Monet, getting to ramp 1, getting to play the Doffy on our next turn. Oh, they're actually going to counter out of this. Oh yeah, I guess they restood. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, definitely should have swung a 6 at least. Okay, that's all right. I forgot the Bonnie restood one. And then on our next turn, I think I will just play out the Doffy into Baby 5 rather than the Monet. And then I'll just take this swing, looking for additional cards. And then now we can just start with a 5, which I'm sure they'll just pay 1 Don to get out of. Yep, and then I'm not going to swing the Monet because they already have the Don up, so I'm basically just going to swing for no reason. Get an active Don off of the Baby 5. And then we do have a Searcher we can go ahead and use as well, so I think I will just go ahead and search. So I'm going to plan to play the Doffy next turn, probably into another Monet. I don't think red-green Luffy has any like board removal. I don't think they run anything like Mulgun or anything. Oh, they do play out the Rush Luffy. Okay. 6 at us. I'm just going to counter 2K here because they are getting a little bit of a board. And I do know one of their win conditions is to just play out the 9-cost Zoro and then make it unblockable with Sanji. We don't play any blockers, but I know that it seems like this deck kind of just plays for 9-cost Zoro, so I'd like to stay as healthy as possible. I'll take this 7. And then another 7, which I think we can just take, because we're going to play Doffy. So if I do this and then Baby 5, I'll go to 6 and then go to 8. Playing down Doffy, -1, play Monet. So then we'll have 2 Monets on board. Yeah, I think I'm okay to kill this. So then we'll add a life there. And then now we can go ahead and go Doffy into Monet. We'll just start with a 6 at the Luffy. And then now we can go ahead and just swing a 9. We'll send it at the Luffy as well. Alright, they're just gonna counter it. Yeah, they'll just give 2, but we can go with the Doffy, use day 1, play Monet, gain an active, and then now if we swing a 6 again, they'll just counter out. So we can go ahead and pass there. And we have no counter in our hand, unfortunately. Yeah, there's the Zoro. They swing 6 at us, so I'm going to go ahead and just use this, and then use this, so we go to 10. I can... Let's see, so we'll just take this one. I'm going to be able to use my effect on one of them, but unfortunately we just don't have the counter to get out of anything right now. So, yeah, I can go ahead and just use the effect here, and then make them swing the law as well. And then we can go ahead and 0 cost out of it. I'll trash the Virgo. Right there. Alright, so now we can play the Doflamingo, making it so that 3 of their characters cannot attack, which is going to be quite good. I'm going to start off by swinging a 9. So they'll restand 2. I'm going to swing a 9 into the Sanji. I'd like to clear the Sanji this turn, because they'll restand with Bonnie, probably pay 2 to get out of this, and then they will have to block with the Bonnie. So we'll just swing 6s into these, hopefully clearing these 2. Do we want to use this turn? Because the Noro Noro Beam will get us out of the Zoro attack, and then we can use our leader effect. I kind of think I just want to clear their board, so if I just go 9 here, they have to block. Yeah, I think I like the idea of just clearing their board, and then we can search, see if we find anything good. We do not. We could take the sugar and keep digging. I think we'll do that. We'll just go ahead and swing 8 first, just to see if they want to let the law die. And then now we're going to leave up 4, so I'm just going to swing a 5, just in case we get a counter event out of life, or the sugar. So yeah, we'll have 1 extra done after searching. I'm just going to grab a 2K. And then we will pass with 5 standing. Yeah, so we can use 2 of these if we need to. So they're going to buff. Oh, this stays frozen next turn. Very nice. Yeah, so as long as we end this turn at 8 Dawn, we can go to 10 next turn and then make it that they can't swing with their... the Zoro at all. So they already restood it, which is exactly what we want to do with the beam stored, so I'm not going to redirect this attack. I'm going to just take this one, and then we will use this Madon minus... So let's see, let's make sure we sequence this right. So we'll give this plus 2. No. Yeah, so minus 1, plus 2, rest, and then we'll take this. Yep, so then they will restand again. And then swing 6 at us, so I'm not going to do the effect. These triggers are super annoying. I can go ahead and just use 1 now to go back to 10, and then cancel. We will use the 2K that we grabbed off of the sugar because they know about it. And then they decide not to play the Zoro. We actually definitely should have beam sorted that, for sure. I was not thinking there. Alright, so now... we can just swing 5. 5, 6, 6, 9, 9. And then we can play down the... oh wait, this is 7 or less. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about the cost on this one. So let's search and find some counter. So yeah, we'll grab the baby 5, and then we can play the baby 5 so we can kill her next turn to heal 1. So it's going to be 4 for the baby 5, 2 for the counter event. Yeah, so now we can just go 7, 7, 9, 9. Which at least, like, 7s are really good into this leader because it makes them use 2 of their Dawn, obviously. So they kind of, one of them kind of goes to waste. And then we'll go 9. And then 9, looking to kill next turn. Alright, and then now we play down the baby 5. Sure, gain 1, even though we don't actually gain 1, and then we will pass there. So we have the Nora beam to get out of 1 attack. We have our leader effect to send into the baby 5 for another. We have 2 2Ks and a 1K, so I don't think we ever die here. But yeah, I definitely should have beam sorted the Zoro, because then he would have been frozen starting this turn because of the Gum Gum Giant Pistol. For sure, I should have done that. Alright, so 8 into us. I am just going to double 2k out of... Actually, no, so we'll just go ahead and freeze the Zoro for... Yeah, so we'll go ahead and not do the effect here. Not do either of these. I'm going to use this. Go -1, buff here, rest there, and then I'll give another 2k. Yeah, so that gets us out of one of its attacks. And then, yeah, they just pass there. So they'll have 2 more attacks because they can swing here, and then when attacking, pay 1 to swing again. But we obviously, we can use our leader effect to send it into there, which will heal us 1, and then their last attack will only put us to 1. So yeah, very, very... This deck is so tanky with these baby 5s especially, because it's like, you get out of 2 attacks with this card and your leader effect. It's so good. Alright, we got a mirror. I think we want to go first in the mirror. And we have 1, we don't have anything for 3, and we have a really crappy play for 5, so I'm going to mulligan that. So we can start off with a Dellinger here, and then we can pass the turn. So now we have the Sugar that we can go ahead and play down, and then we get to keep her alive by having them redirecting their attack into the Dellinger, which I like quite a lot. We could keep digging with the Search event, or we could go ahead and grab a Virgo. What do we want here? I think we want to grab the Virgo just so we can get kind of a 7k attacker going, and then we can start off by just swinging a 6 here. And we will get to keep the Sugar on board next turn, which is quite nice. Actually, you know, we probably should have grabbed the Monet instead of the Virgo so that we could have ramped 1 to search with the Sugar. We don't find a Monet. We have some Dellingers, and we have baby 5. I think I'm going to take the baby 5 just so that we can kind of keep a healing chain going later in the game. They're playing the Sugar. This is the one. Yeah, so if your opponent has 6 or more on KO, you can play out a 5 or less, and then they can just redirect our attack into that. So I could search with Sugar, or I could play down the Virgo. I don't want to play down the Rosinante just because we don't have any events in hand. So I'm going to start with a 5 and see if they want to kill their Sugar. And then we'll probably just play down the Virgo. Does she... So she ramps us a Dawn on play. So actually we probably do want to do this. Just so that we can go to 6 and then go to 8 next turn. Yeah, and then we can go ahead and just search with the Sugar, and if they want to swing into it, we can just let it die. I'm going to grab the 10 cost, but yeah, I don't want to play the Virgo on my 5 there, because we want to go to 8 next turn so that we can get the Doffy off. And then we can just pass. 1 into 1, I'm just going to let this die, I think. Yeah. If I really wanted to, I could have redirected it into my leader and made them swing into it, but I would have gone back down to 5 and then to 7 next turn. So obviously, like I've mentioned, we do want to play the Rosinante. I I've thought about increasing the counter events a little bit to get more use out of Resonante, but I think where we're at now is okay. But I just feel like I never really see the... I don't see counter events in my hand very often with Resonante. So we can go 5 here. And if we do that, they'll play out a 5. I do know eventually they're just going to redirect our attack into it anyways, so we could probably just clear it off the board so that one of our larger swings doesn't get redirected into it. As much as I don't want to give them a 5 cost to play, I think this play is fine. Oh, okay, so they're just going to play out another sugar. We're going to play out... I think we play out a Virgo here, unless we want to try to go to 10 next turn, in which case... We could play another baby 5 out. We just don't really get a relevant body if we do that. We also could play out the Resonante so that we can restand the Dawn, so that we can use the Resonante effect to go back to 8, which is like a common play line that happens in blue-purple, because you obviously are paying attention to if you have 8 or not at the start of your turn. I think I'm okay to not play the Doflamingo next turn. And then we'll just play out a Virgo and then pass. Because he really doesn't have too many relevant bodies on board, so I think I want to wait and hold this off until they have like 3 relevant 5s. They do swing 5, so I'm just going to give 1 card for this. I think I want to hold on to the baby 5, and I'm just going to give a treble. And then they swing 7. I think we can just take this one. I am still kind of looking for another Doflamingo would be nice. I obviously would like to chain these, but obviously we don't have another one right now. So we do have a Virgo. I'm just going to start by swinging a 9 into the Resonante here. Trying to get this off the board. And then because we do know that they play like the Noro Beam, you probably do want to start off by swinging your larger swing first, and then he is just going to take that, so that's all right for us. I think what I'm going to do here is play out a baby 5 and then a Virgo for 9, giving me a Dawn, and then I'll probably plan to kill one of my baby 5s next turn to heal an additional life. I'm just going to swing a 7. Oh, actually, I forgot about this additional effect. I definitely should have used this on the Resonante. I think what I can do is just reduce this and then swing into it with my leader. So I'll swing like a 6 into a 3, and he's already used his leader effect. So I should be able to clear this, unless, of course, they use like a Noro Beam and then rest my leader. Alright, so now we're going to pay 5 for the Virgo, and then we can just swing 6 into the Resonante. If I remembered about this effect, I definitely should have done this first, so that we definitely cleared the Resonante. But we do, like, they dump their entire hand to keep their board alive, so we're in a pretty good spot. And we do have 2 baby 5s on board. I've seen some lists playing like 2 or 3 of this card. I feel like it's really good. Alright, so now basically our whole board won't be able to attack next turn, which is very annoying. We are at 9, so I can leader effect. I think I'm going to leader effect one of the, like the Doffy swing into the baby 5 so that we can kill that and then get an additional life. I'm not sure if they meant to, I'm guessing they meant to do this one and maybe just misclicked, or maybe they thought it turned off the effect. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to give a 1k here. I think I can give the Resonante. And then now this one we can redirect into a baby 5 and then heal one. Ooh, I forgot this was done -1. Okay, that's all right. So we'll gain a life there. And then now 5 into us. I think I will take, and then I'll just 2k this, because I was going to 2k anyways. So I might as well take the hit first, and then I'll just give the Monet. Alright, so we, again, don't really have anything super relevant to play. I think what I'm gonna do is, so this gets removed from the field by effects, not just KO'd. So I'm gonna start, let's go 10 into the Rosie and see if they want to redirect it into their leader. They do not. So now we can play down the sugar and then we'll search. We do find another 10 cost. Do I want to chain these? Okay, so they end up leaving there already. Yeah, I feel like this is an issue whenever you're not playing ranked. People kind of just leave. But search, find another 10 cost. With this, I would have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I could swing into there. They could either go to 1 or have him die, because they have 7. They only have 2k in hand, so they probably let it die. And then they have these 2 on board. Yeah, I feel like we were in a pretty good spot because they have these 2 on board. We have 2 Virgo and a Doffy, so like they can't really swing into this because if they ever try to attach a bunch of Dawn, I just send it to my leader, and then I have 2/2/1 to get out of one of their swings, or I even send it into the baby 5 and heal again. So I feel like these just give you so much sustain in the mid game, just having these on board, getting to send their swing into it. I did forget it was down -1. I definitely would have played the Doflamingo on this turn, basically stunning these 3 characters. But yeah, I feel like we were in a pretty good spot there, but unfortunately they do just leave. Ooh, we have a smoker. All right, so I'm gonna go first, I think. We have a 1 play, we have a 5 play. I don't really like starting with a Doffy and 2 beam swords. It's just kind of like a lot of dead cards in my hand. This hand sucks, but we'll play it. Alrighty, so we have literally nothing to do or play, so we will just swing 8, unfortunately, and then we will take whatever they swing at us so that we can look for more cards. We are going to play the Monet next turn, but I'm looking for another 5 cost to play off of the Doffy on our next turn. This trigger really doesn't do anything because we're going to ramp anyways, because, like, we'll play this on 5 to push us to 6. If I had any other 5 costs, I think it would be pretty good. But at least from what I'm thinking, it doesn't really change anything. So gain an active Dawn, we'll swing 5. The one good thing is a lot of our characters have like on KO effects. Okay, so we can either grab the Virgo or the baby 5 for next turn with the Doffy. I think I'm going to grab the Virgo just so we have another relevant body on board. So yeah, we're at 6, so next turn we'll plan to go Doffy into Virgo. I guess if we had triggered this, we could have used our leader effect here, so that we still could have played Doffy on our next turn, but like, we would have wasted a card to save a card, sending something in there. Unless we had something to KO, then it would have been kind of worth. Alright. Yeah, I like this Mr. 5, just like cycle with a 0 cost, pretty cool. One of my issues with Croc that I was having when I was trying it is there's some games where you just don't start with like a 1 cost. And it makes it really awkward because you can't really ever leader effect. I'm going to take another one of these just because I don't really want to use a 0 cost here. And then we can just go 5, 6, play the Doffy, play the Virgo. See, this is one of the hands where I wish I had a 5 cost Resonante because I'd love to just pitch one of these Nor beams. We'll swing the 6 as well. One of the issues with playing the Virgo off the Doffy is he doesn't ramp you. So you don't actually go to 10 after playing the Virgo because you don't like restand Dawn. Like with the Rosie, you at least restand a Dawn and it lets you use the 8 cost Doffy effect. So I think I'm playing 4 of these now, but the more I play, the more I'm like, I don't love this card. We're not going to return anything. We'll give a 1k. I think I can fairly freely leader effect this turn because I'm not going to be playing the 10 cost anyway, as much as I would like to. Yeah, and then they get the double stun off the Croc is quite good. Alrighty, so what do we want to do here? We're gonna play Virgo. for 5, and then I think we just go like 6, 7, leave up for the Noro Beam, like 6, 7, play Virgo. That sounds pretty good. Alright, pass there. They can still, like, Croc chaining is kind of annoying because they can just, like, play one, trash one, and then 2 bodies get stunned in a turn. Alright, so I'm just going to use this because the prompt is really annoying, and then I am going to not use my effect. Noro Beam, start returning -1, buff here, rest there. So we get out of one of their 10k swings, and then we're at 9, so I can leader effect if they want to swing the Mr. 5, or like anything really, and just send it into one of my bigger bodies. So yeah, whenever Doffy, I'm sure people will play around the Noro Beam, but you really catch people out whenever they're not familiar with it, because like swinging 5 is correct to do first, but whenever they have the Don standing for Noro Beam, you want to swing with the larger ones first. Yeah, and then they'll get the double stun. So now I think they just don't swing this, because I'll, like, whatever they swing, I'll just send it into the Doffy for free. So now I'm gonna play the Doffy. Do we want to KO a Crocodile? I think we probably do. Or no, because even if he gets KO, they're just gonna get to play it out like it's not on their turn. And we can only stun 7 or less. So I could KO the Mr. 5, I guess. Our hand kind of, like, high-key sucks. Yeah, this card is, like, really bad into Croc. Because they're just going to get to... Do I just play the Virgo here? Like, I feel like I just play the other Virgo for 5, leave up 2 again, go like 6, 6. Or this is a 7. So I just go like 3 7s. I think I just start with a 7. I won't return any Dawn. It doesn't matter, really. Alright, and then we'll go another 7. Yeah, and then another 7. And then we'll play 5, leave 2 up. So we can at least rest one of the Crocodiles, which is really good. So, like, we can rest a Croc, send a Croc, stay, like, fairly healthy, even though they have 2 10Ks on board. And we have a really big board now. So 10 into 7, I'm not going to use that effect. I am not going to use this effect. No. And then, do I want to keep this alive? I think I probably do. So we'll return there, buff, rest, and then 2k. So they go 7. I could kill the Monet to just cycle a little bit, which I think I probably do. Kind of sucks, but alright. I probably should have kept the Dellinger. Oh gosh, 3 Crocs. Yeah, I feel like the Miss Wednesday is probably very bad against Doffy because we can just stun it all, but like them having out 3 Crocs is really bad for us. So I think I just play the 10 cost here, but if I do, like, it's just gonna get stunned. Well, they only have 1 more, so like, worst case, they can only stun 1 thing, right? Unless they see all 4. It's just the combo of them having stunned stuff every turn that's kind of getting a little difficult here. Oh, wait, so... Ooh, I keep forgetting about this effect. -2, -2, -4 makes him a 6, but then on KO he can stun something. I think we just go face here. Do I want to search? Well, if I search, they'll just swing this at it. Just start with another 7. Yeah, let's search, see what we can find. I like the idea of Rosie. Sure, so that's 5. I'll swing 7. They can block 2k. I'll swing 8. And then we're gonna pitch the search event. Alright, pass there, restand 2. Yeah, when they see the Crocs, it's kind of nuts. And unfortunately, we don't have any more Noro Beam Swords, so we're kind of just at the mercy of them deleting our stuff. I think I'll just let this die. And then we could do it again. I think we just let this one die as well, honestly. And then I'll just take this 10, I think. And then I can redirect the leader into the something else. If they have another Croc, I think we probably lose here, because they'll be able to stun 2 things again. Eight cost Doffy would be pretty good here. To get out of baby 5, like go 8 cost into baby 5. Oh my word. Yeah, well, Doffy can't attack again. He's literally never swung. This is cool. They definitely should have swung it, like at least swung this into it. But I will just let it die, unfortunately. They have 5. Yeah, so now we'll just use Doffy's effect, and then we'll send it there, and then we can use this effect. Alright, so we cannot stun the Crocs. We can't stun these 2 and go 5-7, which I think we do. Let's just do this. So 1, 2, 3. They cannot rest. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Then we go 5. Seven. They probably have the event to go +4. I think they have 6 cards in in deck. Maybe they'll deck out. Just let that die. I think I'll take a 10. Yeah, because they're gonna stun this. Dang, them seeing 3 Crocs was really bad for us. Low-key, they might have a 4th, yeah. Wait, they're gonna deck out if they use their effect, aren't they? They can't KO anything. No, they already used one, never mind. 10, I will just take. And 10. I think I just take again. We do have a lot of counter in hand. Then they go 9, so yeah, I'll just use this effect and get out of it for free. Then we'll go to 8 next turn. I could play down the baby 5. Oh, he decked out. Let's go. Nice. Hey, that's what happens when you trash 2 every turn. They should have played the Shirahoshi first and then done the Mr. 5, but that was kind of a funny way to win. I don't know.